this customer's ordered a Spring Greens Elephant. Start off with a small gather of clear glass. You're going to squash it off the pipe a little bit to make it easier to work with. We'll just give it a little dent each side, just get a nice even amount of colour. Add the dark green and the seed green. And melt that in a little bit first, then we're going to add the ashes in the gap between. Got a few obstacles to work around. Are you right in my way? Hey, what are you doing? Add the ashes, nice and neatly between the colours. Tap off any excess bits. Now we have to heat up the ashes and the colour to melt it all into the surface. I'm going to gently squash the little lumps of the ashes in, otherwise they leave loads of bubbles. See they're sticking out a little bit? I'll just give them a gentle squash into the surface. Then I can start rolling it into a pattern. Give it a little twist. Start off the pattern before I go into Gloria. Then we have to move these ashes back out of the way a little bit, and they will go back in the tub as soon as I've finished. When we get it hot enough now, I'm literally going to let the glass droop off the end and wind it up like honey on a spoon. Gives us more of a three-dimensional pattern. Let it drop. Slowly drag it around like honey on a spoon. See the colours going with the flow of the glass and the ashes. Do the same the other way. Nice flowing patterns of the colour. Melt all the little creases and folds out. After adding the colour, the ashes and shaping the pattern, now I've got to prepare it ready for the main elephant. Scoop it, get it to a nice tidy shape. Cool it down. Can't go back in the furnace and gather glass over that too quickly, otherwise it will just lose its shape. So I cool it down, give it more stability, and when I gather more glass over the top, it'll give me more stability to make the elephant and start shaping it before it melts through to all the cold glass inside. Now we're going to gather clear glass over the top of the colour to shape it into an elephant. I'll start off by shaping it, cooling it down. I'll add the legs to start with. Even though I've gathered hot glass over the colour part, I've got to heat it through because the colour bit inside is a lot cooler than the glass on the outside, which limits the shaping I can do to it. This has probably got it back up to about 1,100 degrees Celsius. Now I can shape and manipulate it into whatever shapes I want. To start off with, I'm going to try and get the general shape of the body. Bearing in mind this is a caricature of an elephant, so I'm not going to add four individual legs. We're going to dent them in with this one. Opposite sides, and in the gap. And again, cut it off the end of the blowing pipe, otherwise we won't be able to break it off when we're finished. This is just to get it off the pipe at the end. Double check the legs, make sure they're nice and defined. As you can see, it moves quite a lot. So you're constantly doing a 180 to let it bend back to where it was. Now we've done the legs, we can cool the legs down to get more stability while I work on the top to make it into an elephant. As you can see in here, all the white stones, that's all the ashes mixed between the colours. And the colours will show up as dark green and light green as it cools down to room temperature. None of the colours are true when it's 1100 degrees, just because they're all made from different metals, and metals change colour when they get hot. So now we've indented the legs and cooled the bottom down. I've heated the top half up. Now I can pull the tail, the ears, and the start of the trunk. Let's start off with the tail. A little bit to start the trunk off. A mouth. Let it bend back down. Then we go for one ear in front of the front leg, one ear in front of the other front leg, and then a little bit below it to make it wider. Centralise the trunk. Put the ear back in place, you can face that a bit. A lot of this is timing and temperature. And now, you can see it's all gone hard already. Now I'm going to go and reheat it again, come back and squash the ears in. Squash, squash. Give it a little point, little point. Now we've got to define the back. So I just dent over the back, behind the ears, just gives the back a bit more definition. Then you can see it separated the head from the back. Now we've got to heat up his trunk and pull this trunk up. As you can see standing that way, you can see the legs, the ears, the trunk. Now we're going to pull this trunk right up and give it a little curl. So let it bend down. Then we've got a bit more time to pull the trunk, nice and slowly. I put it too fast, so I'm just going really thin. Always keeping it centralised. Some eyes, nice two little dents in there, look. Now I'm going to curl the trunk over a little bit. So now we've got to heat just the very end, otherwise all the ears will melt and the body will melt. So I'm holding it outside the Glorio, so just a little bobble on the end of the trunk heats up. And I can just gently tweak it into a better shape. See a bit of movement in there, look. Now we can go. It's literally the second you've done that, it's already set, look. You ain't got much time. And there's one of our caricature of an elephant. And more cartoony than the real thing. And the colours will be much different when it cools down as well the next day. That's still about 600 degrees in temperature. Give it a little flash when it gets too cold. Cold water cracks the glass. And one little tap and it'll break off nicely around that line I've cut in. It's got to go in the oven at 440 degrees and cool for at least 12 hours.